It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Well, we're back with Inside the Patch. Of course, the man who knows everything. It's in his name, Brian No. What's up, man?
How's it going, Gnarly? I feel like I never looked at my last name that way before. It was always just the word no with an E. You know, it's just a little flavor on no. And now you've put
A K on
the
it.
added pressure of the KNOW. And I feel like, I won't say a burden, but I feel a different pressure this week.
Well, it could be real as no, like a parent telling a kid. But I'd say no, because I feel like you know things. And that's why you're here today, to share that knowledge.
I appreciate that. I like that. Yes, I will try to live up to these expectations that you have for me. That's good. I do appreciate the kind words, though.
I do got to say that the Chargers and the Broncos almost had a tie. I was praying for the tie. Please tie this game, because that would have helped us.
Yeah, would have helped. What a crazy game that was.
Oh. And the kicker's hurt.
Yeah, Dustin Hopkins is out for like 2 to 4 weeks. He was kicking with one leg. Like, that guy was amazing. And I just can't believe, with all of that offensive talent on the field in overtime, no first downs.
Right.
Not one first down. That's crazy.
The whole NFL is I mean, there were so many different upsets and so many weird things that happened over the weekend. And I'm like, the Raiders are not out. We are not out because this NFL is not stable.
No. Yeah, they're not out of it. The AFC is just nuts. The whole NFL is nuts.
Right.
I think that if you just whittle it down to a couple of divisions, like, look at the AFC West.
Yeah.
We thought this was going to be an absolute gauntlet, and now you look at it and you're like, okay, it's the Chiefs and Chargers are at 4-2, and the Broncos and Raiders combined are 3-8.
Yeah. Well,
that's wild.
Who would have thought the Eagles and the Cowboys were like the head of their division, and they were somebody reckoned to. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, and with the Giants,
the
Giants are 5-1, so that division,
the
top
Jets,
to bottom.
The Jets. What the hell's going on there?
You know what's crazy is, at this stage, the NFC East right now has the best chance to have 3 teams from its division.
Yeah.
If you would have said before the season, hey, which team has the best shot to get 3 teams in, you'd say the AFC West.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the NFC West. You would have never thought the NFC East, and that's where we're at right now.
But isn't it the way it is that everything we think about all summer just doesn't count? It doesn't matter. Nobody knows.
What's crazy to me, though, Gnarly, is I agree with you, but this is the beginning of the season. There are some injuries, but later in the season, that's when the injuries normally really pile up. So crazy stuff happens, and based on who's out, who's injured, it's explainable. You could say, well, this team's losing they don't have their star quarterback. That's why they're losing games. But right now, when teams are relatively healthier, and you still have crazy stuff happen, that makes it even wilder to me.
Well, I think, like, okay, maybe this year's Super Bowl MVP is not even on a team yet. You know, he's sitting at home, getting ready to jump on, and they're going to have some crazy year. And there it is. It's Peterson. Adrian Peterson's back, and he wins MVP. I don't know. I mean, crazier things have happened.
Now you've taken the crazy that we've seen through 6 weeks, and you've made a quantum leap over here. You know, now all of a sudden Tim Tebow's going to be the 2022 MVP.
He's back. I mean, what's his name just got signed? The number, he was number 1. He played for the Raiders last year, wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now. Played for the Eagles forever and the Redskins. Fast receiver for the Eagles, and he left for the Redskins and went back to the Eagles, and the Raiders signed him last year, and I can't think of his name. But he just got signed today to the Baltimore Ravens.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to say the wrong guy.
It doesn't matter. I can't even say his name because I can't think of it. It's quick, fast, number one. He was number one, like his little number.
He was literally the number one.
Yeah, and he fumbled one time for the Eagles right before he went in the end zone. Deep pass.
Fumbled for the Eagles right before the end zone.
Yeah, he was running like wide open touchdown, and he threw it away too early.
It wasn't Deshaun Jackson.
Yes, it is. That's it. That is it. It's Deshaun Jackson. Yes, you win. You win.
I win. All right. Woo-hoo.
He just got signed by the Baltimore Ravens a couple days ago. So
no kidding. Okay, I didn't hear that.
He's back.
Yeah, he really. Wow. Okay.
Well,
you're on top of stuff over here.
No, I'm not. It took us 9 minutes to figure out who the hell he was.
I'm just picturing all the people listening.
Yeah.
In the time it took me to figure out who it is. They're just like, oh my gosh, it's Deshaun Jackson. And yet, when I figured it out, it's like, yeah, party, baby, woo!
They're screaming at their TV and the radios right now.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson!
Yeah, because I'm like, it sounded like Deshaun Jackson, but he was number 10 for a while. And that's what was throwing me off.
Yeah.
You know?
My knowledge is very limited. I don't know if you heard about the Fresno State game where Devontae Adams, first off, there was an incident in his plane. He was supposed to be here at 5:30. His plane took off, and the pilot's window cracked. So, like, oh, we better turn around and come back home. So they go back to Vegas, get on another plane, and they come to Fresno. So he's late. Misses the press conference completely. But then,
so everything you had planned
gone. They did not do
just
the press
out the window.
But here's the weird part. At the end of the Fresno State game, it's broken glass again. One of the coaches got upset and threw his computer, shattered glass in the stands, fell on children.
Oh.
And double broken glasses, weird things happened at the Fresno State game.
Wow. That's not a good place to be, to have the temper tantrum, break the computer, and all of a sudden shards of glass ricocheting off of young kids. Not good.
I think you get to keep it, though, if you catch it, you know.
I would hope so.
I think you'd take it home. so
I hope they wouldn't be like, it's broken, but it's our property.
Yeah,
give it back.
This is the glass that came down, hit Jerry right in the head, but he's fine. He's fine.
By the way, this is, I hate to admit this, Gnarly, but I didn't break my computer. But I felt like doing so because I had a bet. Ooh. I had a vested interest during the San Jose State Fresno State game.
Ooh.
I took, now make sure you're sitting down for this. I took the under 16.5 first half points. Okay. So I forget what it was. It was like they were at 10 combined points at the very end of the first half.
Right.
And somehow San Jose State, they forced a turnover and no one can score. They're like, points are at a premium. It's hard to score.
You're right. I've got this bet. You have this bet. You're celebrating.
I'm in great shape. We're below a minute to go. We're under a minute to go. San Jose State gets the turnover, throws like a 30-yard bomb for this game into the end zone, catch it. They finish with 17 total points, like, you know, both sides. And I lose my bet by half a point. Lose my bet right there.
And that just tells you somebody figured it out. How do they know that? How do they know that?
It was bad, Gnarly. That was bad. That was rough. So I felt like it, but here's the silver lining. I felt like breaking a computer. I did not break a computer, and there were no shards of glass near little kids. So
no cuss jar? Did you have to bring out a cuss jar of any kind?
No, I actually didn't. I did not.
You know,
I've been working on, now I'm in stages of getting better with losses here, Gnarly.
Right.
Because I'm the guy, you know, there might be a cuss word here or there. There might be a temper tantrum here or there. I might, you know, like club my own forehead. Like, oh, no. Now right. I'm more of a silent, temper tantrum, but you can still tell I'm in great pain.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I've gotten to the next step of not throwing a temper tantrum, but you can still tell that I'm in great pain.
Well,
so I'm trying to get to the point where you can't tell whatsoever.
I think if being a Raider fan, I've been dealing with a lot of loss, loss the last 5 years, and so a lot of close losses. So where you're just like, there's no way. Well, there's no way our coach is going to get fired. There's no way Ruggs is going to go to prison. There's no, and everything happens. I was like, my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So how do you do it? What's your method?
Well, I've got to where once you break enough things and you start to realize the price of breaking things, you stop.
Yeah.
You just stop.
Yeah.
It's like,
what have you broken before?
I have tossed a computer into the pool, a laptop into the pool. I have
pretty sure that was curtains for that laptop.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
and I brought it in. I go, this isn't working, and I guess they have some sort of water test that they can tell. Has this been their water? Not that I recall. But
not that I recall.
That's the answer.
That's like. That's a lie that doesn't make you feel as horrible for just flat out saying, no, it hasn't. Not that I recall. It's still a flat out lie, but you don't feel as badly.
I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why. It just kind of, as fish are coming out of the little ear hole thing.
There are minnows in it and everything. I've broken a phone.
Yeah.
I've broken a cell phone before. Where I didn't Gronk spike it. I just kind of flung it. And I'm like, it should be good. Nope, cracked.
Nope, done.
Cracked. Like done.
Or you're not even trying to break your phone. You just mishandle it, and then you turn to the hacky sack, and you're tipping it up. It's like tip drill, and then and you sometimes you save it. It's like the balloon not hitting the ground. You're like, whoa. Oh,
it's the worst. It is. It really is the worst to not only lose, but then to freak out because you feel like a double loser.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm not 10 years old anymore. What am I doing?
Well,
you got to act like an adult. I'll tell you another story, Gnarls. This goes back to when I was married. I had a bunch of NFL parlay bets. Everything hits but the final leg.
Of course.
And it was the same thing in the early window, same thing in the late afternoon window. And I was at a sports bar with my ex, and I just freaking lost it. I knew it was coming on. I could feel the steam just rising. And I go to the bathroom, and I see the trash can. Do you remember Reggie White doing the club move?
Yeah.
Remember when he just went clubbing up? I clubbed that trash can, and then I went UCF. Then I went ground and pound on that trash can. And the sad thing was I went so nuts on the trash can, everybody could hear it outside. And so what I thought was a private temper tantrum was not too private. No. They all heard it.
Oh, I got the freshman football, Tom Flores Stadium, Sanger High School. I'm the wide receiver, wide open. The DB fell down. The ball's in the air, slow motion. Just, it took forever. Hits my chest, falls down to the ground. I take my helmet off and I chuck it against the side of the stadium. Now at that point, Buck Martin, he's a big guy. He grabbed me by my shirt pads and lifted me off the ground. And you can't even do it nowadays. I remember he said, "You made an ass out of yourself by missing the ball, and then you doubled down and made an ass of yourself by throwing your helmet. You're out of the game." And I'm like, "Whoa." And everyone in a 2-mile radius heard it. But guess what? I never threw my helmet again, and I learned a lesson.
Now, here's what I want to know. And that's great that you learned a lesson and until the Raiders tested you and failed those tests. And
I didn't throw my helmet. My helmet was safe.
Yeah, no helmet. That's what you should have told the computer people.
Yeah.
Like, "Sir, has this laptop been in the water?" I didn't throw my helmet.
Yeah.
That's what you should have said.
That's what you're thinking.
Walk me through this helmet toss.
Yeah.
Was it more of a hip toss? Was it more of like a quarterback throwing a football? How far did it fly? I need to know the details.
Okay, it was a yank off, and your helmets are tight right? I
Yeah.
think some of the
Oh,
ear
yeah.
pads flopped out because it was so tight. And then I took it back and kind of like not in a good athletic way, more of a sideways fling, like
Okay.
I'm going to try to, and it went a good 10, 12 yards. You know,
Yeah.
and I think every other pad fell out when it smashed into the stadium wall. And so, and you know, it's like, and the minute it left my hand, I went, "Oh, that's not good." But it wasn't me doing it. It was like it just happened. You know,
I'm trying to mimic the throwing motion because it's not quite Patrick Mahomes. You know how he
no,
drops sidearm
it's
to
very discus. It's
yeah,
discus.
it's very discus. Yes, it's kind of hammer throw.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if you twirled
Yes.
around a couple of
I
times.
might have got 2 round. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a very tragic thing. You know,
Yeah.
and fast forward to 2013, Buck Martin, the coach that, you know, he was sick and he was in the hospital, and I went to visit him, and we had this moment, you know, where he even teared up. And as a joke, I threw out his oxygen. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. But I mean, it went, you know, I just respect that man a lot, and I deserved it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. That could be a semi-fun callback. Hey, Buck, remember this? Just like old times. What does that remind you of, Buck? You toss the oxygen tank, and no, don't do that. Don't do that at all.
Well, okay, so now that we've discovered that we do have a temper tantrum, we're not going to have one this week unless something goes bad.
I'll tell you this, Gnarly. You know this because it's a poker reference,
Yeah.
right? We used to play poker quite a bit. We're on tilt right now.
Yeah, we are.
Okay? Raiders are 1-4. Last time we saw them play, they had the narrow defeat at Kansas City. So even though there's been a bye week, we are on tilt. And if the Houston Texans somehow come in to Allegiant Stadium and win the game, it could be full-blown break.
One momentum changer, and I'm scared. I mean, I'm just like, we just need to handle it. We need to just get a 10-point lead and just run the ball. Let's get our basics down. Oh my gosh.
It's got to happen. And look, man, they've had close games all year long.
Right.
A lot of these games they lost, they easily could have won, probably should have won.
Right.
And yet they're 1-4. So, I mean, this is a stretch. We've talked about it, Gnarly. These next 6 games for the Raiders, favorable matchups. You just got to go on a run right now.
But even as you speak, as your mouth mentioned the Texans, the back of my head goes, oh, what if we get behind? I mean, I'm scared. My reality expectation is, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. You know what? Here's what's going to be interesting with the Raiders. I hope they have the opposite, mentality.
Yeah.
Because look, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just speaking the truth. There are a lot of Raider fans going to feel the same way.
Right.
I just hope the players have gotten to a point where they're just kind of in F it mode in a good way.
Right.
Where they're just like, F it. Let's just go out there and not worry about anything. They're mad. They're just going to let it all hang out instead of like, oh no, what if it happens again? I want the opposite mentality. And we'll get our first answer to how they're playing, how they're feeling against the Texans here.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope that these guys are like, nope, we got a whole, like last year, those last 6 games we had last year, they said, we don't care. We're going to go. We're taking them one at a time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, this is kind of like a basketball comparison. They say any scorer who's struggling, just get to the free throw line. Just see the ball go in the hoop, and then you find your rhythm. So to me, this is the free throw game for the Raiders. Right. It doesn't get much more favorable than facing the Houston Texans. So hopefully this is get to the free throw line, see the ball go through the hoop, and then you start to establish a rhythm. That's my hope.
Right.
And it starts with the Houston game this Sunday.
Well, we got a big shocker coming up on the show coming up. We have Raider royalty is going to be on the show. When I say royalty, I'm talking about a king. I'm talking about there's Burger King, there's Don King, there's even Rodney King. But Kenny King, number 33 of your Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Almost, I think he has a couple Super Bowl records for the longest catch in the Super Bowl.
I don't know if it still stands.
But it was for a while.
I want to say, what's that?
It was for a while. It was
for a long time. And it was long. I want to say it was 85 yards. I'll have to check that out.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if it still stands today, Gnarly. I think somebody one-upped it at some point here.
Well, we're going to talk to him because I need to find out, as the old school Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, what are these guys thinking and what are these guys telling the players? Because they get access. They go down and talk to these guys. And what is the king going to say? I'm excited about that.
Well, that's awesome, dude. That's really cool. I hope he doesn't shove you. That's my first thought.
Me too. Me too. And
going back to Devontae Adams. So here you go. Here's the fun fact.
Yeah.
It has been surpassed, unfortunately. It was, we go all the way back to Super Bowl 33. No, wait. It would be.
This was an 80 or 81 when it happened.
38.
Okay.
Sorry, it'd be Super Bowl 38. And it was when the Patriots beat the Panthers. Remember that great 32-29 back and forth game? It was Muhsin Muhammad, the wide receiver. He caught an 85-yard touchdown in that game.
So Muhammad is king.
That's right. That is right. Muhsin sits atop.
Muhsin,
as far as that record goes.
I won't bring that up to Kenny. I'm sure he doesn't want to hear that.
You should. You should be like, Kenny, were you ticked off when Muhsin Muhammad had the audacity to break your touchdown record right there?
Yeah, we'll see. Because what if he throws his helmet? He might get mad. So we'll find out what kind of control he has. So
yeah, it's oh wow, how about this? Here's your fun fact. Wow, this is crazy, man. So it was, let's see if this is correct. Doug Williams to Ricky Sanders for 80 yards.
In the Super Bowl?
Jim Plunkett to Kenny King for 80 yards. Also John Elway to Rod Smith for 80 yards. That's crazy.
Wow.
And then Muhsin Muhammad at 85.
Probably because they all shared
the record? I don't remember it that way at all.
They all started on the 20 probably. So it was after a kickoff probably. They're on the 20, and that's why it's an 80.
Wow, that's wild, man. That's weird to me too, because for the longest, Kenny King had the longest touchdown reception. And turns out a couple other guys had the same reception as far as the yardage. That's wild.
That is pretty cool.
Crazy.
All right. Well, Brian, we will be 2-4 next week. That's what I'm hoping. I hope they come back with a big 2.
Let's speak it into existence. Let's LeVar Ball this thing.
Yeah, I like
Remember
it.
LeVar Ball?
Yes.
Just, oh, my son's going to play for the Lakers. And you're like, well, that's crazy. That's not going to happen. But every now and then, he got something right. So I think we just have to speak it into existence, and hopefully it works out.
I wonder if they could throw in an extra win. Can we get an extra win if we play really good? Can they say, you know what? That was so good. You get an extra win. They don't supersize.
I like how you're thinking here, but
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen. It certainly won't happen against the Texans. If anything, they should be like, this counts for half a win. Even though you won, it's kind of like you're tied.
Right.
Beating the Texans.
If you're David Carr, you were a Texan for a long time. But is it a nightmare because you were sacked so many times? Do you root for him secretly behind your brother's back? Or do you just say, nah, I'm Team Raider right now?
He's Team Derek Carr all day.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But you know what? It jogged my memory. I was watching, the Monday night game a couple of nights ago, and there was a Chargers fan, had to be a Chargers fan. He was cheering for L.A. when the Chargers were hosting the Broncos. He was wearing a Raiders Khalil Mack jersey.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I got a problem with that.
What are you doing? If you're a diehard Chargers fan, you can't be rocking the Khalil Mack Raiders jersey as he plays for the Chargers now. What are you doing?
I always said if a guy leaves our team and you have his jersey, that jersey goes in the closet till he's not playing in the NFL anymore. You don't don it ever again until he's not on a team. Otherwise, it's just weird.
I don't understand if you're a Chargers fan, why you had a Raiders jersey to begin with.
Well,
and look, let's play devil's advocate here real fast, Gnarly, because fantasy football has exploded. Like there are a lot of people that are fans of players and not necessarily teams, but that's more of an offensive thing.
Right.
This is not like you're picking defensive players in most fantasy leagues, so that doesn't apply here either. It's weird. It's weird. Why are you wearing the Raiders Khalil Mack jersey to the Raiders game, to the Chargers game, and cheering for the Chargers? Lots of questions.
That is true. All right. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of all this. Brian, I love what you know and what you bring every week. And so 2-4 next week. All right. That's happening.
2-4.
All right. Let's do
go.
It. All right.
2-4.
Inside the patch. On two.
Onward and upward.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.